So who do you think is the intended target of Lamar Jackson's tweets today? Who would you guess?
I would say just the Ravens in general.
Okay. What about you, TJ Jefferson? What do you think?
You mean team-wise?
Who do you think the target is? Just fill in the blank. He says the Ravens team-wise. What do you say?
I think his target of his tweets today were Ravens fans.
Okay. I will tell you who the target audience is then, in my estimation.
Okay.
Target audience are the 31 other owners of the National Football League gathering at the spot where Steve Bisciotti is currently right now, the Ravens. And this is what gave me the idea, was talking to Louis Riddick when he said the Atlanta Falcons are a freaking perfect spot. Now, again, we had Thomas Dimitroff, the former general manager of the Falcons, on last week, and I said to him, hey, you know, what do you think is going on in Atlanta where they are not interested? And they were one of the first teams to be publicly out there saying we're not in on them, because I do believe Peter Schrager, my colleague from NFL Network and also Fox Sports, contacted somebody in the Falcons organization. That was one of the first tweets that I saw when Lamar got slapped with the non-exclusive franchise tag. They're not interested. And that's one of the teams that has been put out there by a bunch of people, including J.J. Watt, saying, why are you so public about it? And Thomas Dimitroff said, hey, you know, they were in cap hell for a while. They're out of it. They're finally out of it. And this has been the plan. Like, this is the year. They're finally out of it. They're through paying the credit card of Matt Ryan, or mostly through. I don't know the exact numbers. They drafted Desmond Ridder. They're going into the year with Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke. That's why they signed him. Let's go. And they just went crazy in free agency by signing a whole bunch of people. Jesse Bates is a centerpiece in the back end of that defense. So clearly that's the plan. And he also said that Arthur Smith is making the call to essentially say, where Arthur Blank's like, you're the coach, you make the call, along with Terry Fontenot, the general manager. You make the call. And they're like, no, we'll stick with what we currently have. So this tweet today is intended to basically say to people like Arthur Blank, really?
Come get me.
You don't want me? Really? Really? Because this dance that you think is going to end up with me staying with the Ravens, and this whole thing that's where the Ravens are allowing me to seek my market, is going to leave me with no other option than to go back to the Ravens? Or, you know, you sign me, the Ravens are going to match it. Well, I've already told them I don't want to be there anymore. So take that one off the table. They're not going to match it because I already told them I don't want to be there anymore. And in this day and age, when somebody as talented as I am says I don't want to be there anymore, guess what? Happened for Devontae Adams, going to happen for me. Or it happened for name anybody in the NFL who's said I want out and they're finally out. So he wants out. And it takes somebody like Arthur Blank, because I don't think it's coming from the general manager, unless that GM is so confident in his job and they go to the owner and go, hey, what do you think we just, you know, all those plans we've been talking to you about, all those meetings we had in December and January and February, let's scrap them. Let's totally change everything. Let's go. And you just got to scratch that huge-ass check, stick it in escrow. You up for that? It's going to take someone like Arthur Blank to walk in the room and say, you know what?
Let's do it.
I'm just going to walk over to Steve Bisciotti in that private room, have a chit-chat. And then I'm going to go to my guys and say, I know I delegated. I know what we talked about. Let's call the Ravens today. That's what it's going to take. And that's why I think Lamar sent on that tweet. Because if it's not Arthur Blank, maybe it's Jim Irsay or whoever's going to own the Commanders in 2 days, allegedly. Or it's Dan Snyder with a foot already living in London and is
probably,
you know, living in that beautiful manse in Belgravia, you know, and sitting there
on his yacht
saying, you know what? As I go out the door, I'm going to be that next NFL owner, and I'm going to give him all that guaranteed money. Leave that flaming bag of poop on the doorstep of the rest of my now former member colleagues. And that will also jack up how much I'm asking for the Commanders. Maybe he now has more of an idea of doing that because Lamar hit the send on that tweet today. That's who he's talking to in my mind. The 31 other individuals who can scratch that fat check. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.